So I'm recording everything we say now.
Okay.
Don't say nothing bad.
I won't cuss too much.
Okay, good.
But-
You never
but
cussed in your life,
Tommy-
Robert.
What's that?
You never cussed in your life.
You don't know me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I remember I used to talk about how much what you could say, and you would never use a D word. Back when but it was okay to say doggone. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Times have changed.
Oh God,
Well,
have they?
Oh, my. Mhm.
But well, Tommy Clifton was in the Cub Scouts with us.
Mhm.
I remember spending the night over with him, and I fell in love with his mother. She was so beautiful. I was just 12 years. I was just 13 years old. You remember his mother?
I do. Remember his mama and his daddy.
And his daddy was in World War II. And of course, my daddy was too. And so we talked about World War II for a good bit, Tommy. Let's see who. I still don't see anybody. I wonder where Mike Peck is. Prince Halligan, I thought was going to come. I left at Randy Grimm a message.
Well, I don't know about it. The weather is beautiful here. Everybody may be outside and just forgot.
Yeah, it is.
now-
It is beautiful here in St. Augustine, and everybody's ready to get out. So
Yeah.
that could be the. And
I
and
called,
honestly, if I hadn't had two
Cheryl.
daughters here, I would have not remembered.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was on their radar today.
Well, I called Cheryl, and actually we did a Zoom together just to make
Good.
sure her equipment was working. And
Yeah.
we did that for a little bit. Of course, I did one with Elaine. David Kennedy, I understand, was in a wreck.
Oh,
Speck told me about that. Mabel
Johnny
Kite.
Mosley and Joe
Well, Johnny,
Smith here. Joe Smith and Johnny Mosley here in Lyons.
okay.
So
Well, Johnny
I-
Mosley talked to me like he was going to come too. He's emailed me a couple of times.
Mhm.
I hope they realize this was 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
well, let me
Uh,
brag.
Be on Eastern Standard Time, not daylight savings time.
Yeah.
Well,
Guys,
that's what I
let me brag a minute.
okay.
Stephanie and Vance, which is Terry's grandson, Bryson, has been elected president of the Republican Party for the University of Georgia. And he was invited up to the White House with several of the guys, and even had breakfast with some of them. But anyway, I just got another thing from him yesterday, or not from him. But
He's
from his
at
mother.
University of Georgia.
Yes.
Okay.
He became some kind of thing they have up there at the University of Georgia, which only a very few people get in, and he was elected to get into that.
Wonderful.
So he is really doing great and making the family very proud.
Very
Very
good.
good.
There
Very
you
good.
go.
Now, Mabel, I talked to Mabel.
Didn't
How's
her
she
sister recently die? Didn't she have a sister that
Her
recently
sister
died?
died. She told me
Cheryl?
about
Oh, my
that.
goodness.
She had two
Was it-
sisters that just died. Yeah.
Right. We
Oh.
talked about her work as a nurse. Bob Mays. Bob Mays is still living, right?
As far as I know.
I think
I
so.
think so.
I expected him to, and Johnny Mosley said he was going to come. Speck. And Yvonne Nobles is in Florida, but I talked to her. I should have recorded all these conversations I had.
Yeah.
Now, I never could get a hold of Jack Osteen. He's up in Tennessee. He came to the reunion, but I talked to Betty Parker. She was going to make a little speech.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
the class
nice.
president.
What about
So,
Becky Wilson? I would have thought, and Susan Clifton.
Becky Wilson, Betty Parker was supposed to, Mike Peck,
How about
Gail Reed. Actually,
Susan
Gail
Clifton?
Reed, you remember her?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She lives up close to Gainesville or up in Northeast Georgia.
Hmm.
And Paul Simmons, he was going to, I didn't talk with him, but he emailed me. Ronald Stevens got an email, but he lives in Vidalia. Randy
see.
Thompson, I talked to him on Facebook.
Oh, ow, ow, ow.
What was
That's
that?
my great grandson.
Okay.
Alan over there.
Yeah, and Patsy Wilson Moxley, I thought would be here.
Yeah.
And then Alicia, well, I guess they got the cream of the crop then, is that right?
That's right.
Well, we'll just have to try again, maybe.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
We should do it. Robert, I want to thank you so much for trying to get us all together.
Yes.
Well, I
The
had the most
reunion-
fun
the
because I
reunion was
talked to,
awesome.
you know, well, I had the
And this
most
has been
fun
good.
because I got to talk to so many people.
Yeah, and I brag about you everywhere. Right now, you're probably president of NASA. I don't know.
No,
They might all be wanting some food so we can get together instead of just talk on these
well,
screens.
I wish I could
Exactly.
offer you a meal.
Yeah.
Especially since half of us, including me, don't know how to do all this stuff.
I
Well,
don't. My
reunion
daughter
in
here, she
Vidalia.
helped me, or I wouldn't have been
Well,
able
I'm
to do
going to
it.
send this
That's same
video
with
out
me.
to everybody and maybe try to do it again in a month or so.
Good.
Okay, sounds good.
Yes.
I have done, actually, a lot of the ones I just mentioned, I've had a Zoom with Mike Peck. I had
Oh.
a Zoom with a few others.
Is Mike still at St. Simon's?
He's still at St. Simon's.
He and Catherine both are there.
I think he lives fairly close to Catherine.
Right, he does.
Yeah.
I think they've seen each other.
Hmm. Well, guys, I'm gonna get off. Love you all, and
Well,
so good to hear
you
from
know,
you.
you just, we were gonna have everybody share a little something. Now you just did a little bit
Yeah, I
about
already did
your
mine.
grandson.
I did all my bragging.
You have any secrets to tell?
Oh, God.
Hey, tell him.
Forget now, you said you was recording it now.
Yeah, it's being recorded.
No secrets here.
Nadine, do you ever get to Vidalia? Or Lyons, I guess?
Yeah, I not like I used to, but I still come home. Yeah.
Well, let me know
That
when
is
you're
still
coming-
my home.
Yeah, let me know when you're coming home and we'll see if we can get,
I want to throw this
I still
plug
call her
in.
Carolyn. She goes by
Oh, I'd
Carol.
love to do that. Yeah.
Carolyn
Well,
and Becky.
before we
and Susan.
stop, why don't we have everybody share something? Nadine's already done it. Elaine, how about you?
I don't really know what to share other than, we're all growing older and we all got family and we're very proud of them. And God's been good to me. Very, very good. I'm blessed.
Amen.
too.
Now you have 2 daughters or 3 daughters.
Three.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 girls and they're all really, really doing good. Ginger has the business there on the corner. If you go through Lyons, you see the dress shop. Very pretty place. It was a trash place, but it's turned into something very pretty. And Terry, she's doing the foundation for Dustin. She helps a lot of veterans and is very concerned for homeless veterans. And that
Yeah.
it will never get over, I don't think, the situation that Dustin got killed in. They're still investigating and still doing a lot of work overseas. So we're still involved in that.
That
And
tore
Tracy-
all our hearts out.
Mhm.
That was an unusual situation, very unusual.
Elaine, is it your granddaughter that played either softball or soccer with my granddaughter?
Yeah, we didn't, we did. Mhm. Yeah, Ginger, she does, her and Justin do the soccer a lot.
Yeah. Yeah,
They're
I
involved
think
in the,
he refereed one of Elizabeth's games.
we'll have to talk about that, Ann, find out the connection.
And won't you tell us your secret?
What'd I tell you?
Why don't you tell your secret?
My secret?
What are you gonna share with us?
Well, if I told you my secrets, I'd have to come kill you, Robert. I can tell you my secrets.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
Well, my daughter is married and lives behind me. She has a son that's 22, he's a senior at Georgia, and an 11-year-old who's in the 5th grade. My son lives in Atlanta. He is Amy's a school teacher. She teaches, Robert, you'd like this, she teaches drone.
Okay.
And
She does what?
teaches drone,
Okay,
drone, D-R-O-N-E,
okay,
drone.
okay.
And she's certified. She's got her, is it FAA license? And let's see, my son lives in Atlanta. He's a CPA. His wife is a pharmacist on the liver transplant team at Emory.
Good.
They have
Wow.
two rotten boys, 6 and 9. And they are a handful. So that's about, Jack's retired and I'm working so he can play with his pine trees and fish.
Okay.
So,
Do you go fishing?
I don't like to go out when it's rough. He likes to go, out on the coast. When it's, I don't particularly want to fish, but I'll go out and enjoy the beautiful scenery because there's some pretty coastline in Georgia, real pretty coastline.
Amen. They are. Mhm.
So, but Elaine, we have a place at St. Simon's. I need to get your number.
Okay.
Call you when we're down there sometimes. 'Cause
Okay.
that fishes and I prefer to sit and do nothing.
Oh, that's very sweet. I'll have to, how you want me to get you my number?
Well, do you have my email? Didn't Robert share everybody's email?
Yeah, I think so.
I
I'll
can
just,
give you my cell phone number real quick and you can write it down.
let me see. I should have a pencil right here.
I think Nadine's still on the call.
She's waiting, I guess.
She's
Well,
moving around.
Yes, I don't think she knew. She
She's
probably
in
doesn't
the
know how to leave.
I think she's in the store, in the store.
Yeah.
I muted her.
Okay, Ann.
All right. Of course, it's 912
What now?
912
Yeah,
293
293
1129.
1129.
Mhm.
All right, Ann.
Usually I have it with me most of the time.
Right.
But
Yeah, I try to, but sometimes I forget and leave it laying on the counter.
Well, sometimes it's a good thing to do that too.
I agree. I do agree, but I will call you, okay?
Sounds good, Elaine. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, Ann.
Take care.
And you got a place in St. Simon's, right? Okay.
Hey, Gene, how about you?
Well, I'm just a happily married old man. I reckon I'm about the oldest of the whole bunch because I missed a year and I'll be 77 in August. But I got 3 lovely daughters and 2 grandchildren, and I'm soon gonna be a great granddaddy.
Wow.
Yeah, Brandon is expecting a little boy in
Right.
July. So we're very happy here. And I wish anybody come to Swainsboro, come and look me up.
Are you
Still working, still selling tires.
in Swainsboro, Gene, or out just out
Well,
of
when you're
Swainsboro?
coming into Swainsboro, you know where the nursing home is on the left?
I do.
Okay, there's a quick road to the right. I live 2 miles down that road.
Yeah.
340 quick road. Y'all come and see me.
Yeah, I
How
see.
about
Tell them, Bob, we had to catch a few catfish and brim and stuff.
Yeah.
Y'all come. You don't
I
need
haven't
nothing,
fished
just
in a
bring
long
a pack
time.
of weenies, because that's what they eat.
the
I
brim
feed them about every
weenies?
day, and they'll churn the water up like a washing machine, so we got plenty of
Wow.
it.
Okay.
God has been good. As all y'all know, I'm a Gideon, so this COVID's got us all stopped. We can't go to the churches and speak no more, so until it comes back out.
Well, have y'all done any of the Zoom, Gene?
Ma'am,
Have you done any Zoom or any?
this is my first time ever doing this.
Because I know although we have gone back to church with social distance, but
Right.
we've been streaming our 9 o'clock
Yeah.
and 11
I mean,
o'clock.
we're going to church, but you know, we don't go to churches to speak for the Gideons to raise the money for the Bibles right now. It's kind of a slow process, but the Gideon card program is working real good.
Well,
Well,
that's,
like I say, I'm gonna write, give a card for,
Linda.
I'm losing my memory a little bit, but I'll get it
Linda.
back. I got it written on my desk at work, for her daughter that got killed.
For
well, that's-
Glenda's,
Yeah,
that is a wonderful ministry,
yeah.
wonderful ministry.
I would have never thought I'd done it, but see, I was 60 years old before the master moved on me. And it's a small world, you know, coming up in Lyons and moving up to Swainsboro. I go join, when he did move, I'm gonna join First Baptist, and who's there? Bob. He's already a member there, so it's
Oh,
a small world.
Very small, very small.
God bless all of y'all. We love you.
Well, we were there for 14 years with you when we lived in Swainsboro.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your work.
Yes, Robert, thank you.
And
We
Robert,
can look back, at the time we were in school and see how wonderful we really had it. And we didn't think it back then, but we know it now. I
You
do,
know,
at least I do, I know.
I have great memories of every
I do
one of
too.
you.
Yeah.
And in fact, I can tell a really good story about everybody. I've got the personal things we knew about each other. Were very dear to me. And 58 years ago, I guess it was, we graduated.
Yeah.
And when we graduated, we never would have thought there would be anything called Zoom.
Mhm.
But
about cell phones.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
That was my thought.
Pardon
Cell
that.
phone, how wonderful.
yeah, we moved to New Jersey right after I left Georgia Tech, and lived in New Jersey, New York for 24 years.
Ooh-wee.
I enjoyed living up there.
Robert, tell me again exactly what you did. I told everybody you invented the satellite and put people on the moon.
Well, you know, when I was in high school, I thought I was very famous because in 1963, I think it was, John Glenn went into orbit, the first American. And I had the honor of hooking up the TV in the auditorium so everybody in our class could watch that.
You were
So I
famous.
thought I was
Yeah.
important.
You were.
You were.
Very famous.
At that time, also in 63, after Sputnik went up, and of course the US was behind in putting satellites up, the company I went to work for, Bell Laboratories, put up Telstar 1 and Telstar 2, and they carried the first TV and the first telephone across the ocean. And I was a senior in high school. And I said, I want to do that. I want to do something like that. And so I went to Tech for 8 years. And lo and behold, I got hired at Bell Telephone Labs in New Jersey. They were the largest research organization in the world.
Wow.
And in about 2 years after working on some projects, they asked me if I would design Telstar 3. And so I led a group to design Telstar 3 for the space shuttle. So we worked with the astronauts to put our satellite out on the shuttle Discovery in 1984. So we had the first mission on that shuttle. And then of course the shuttle blew up about 2 years later. And the Judy Resnick, the woman who put my satellite out, was killed. And that broke my heart.
Yeah.
So after the shuttle, we couldn't use, after it blew up, we couldn't use it for commercial launches anymore. And so I led the program designed for Telstar 4, launched in 1993. And we launched that on a rocket, on actually 3 rockets. We had 2 French rockets we used and one American rocket. You couldn't buy enough rockets back then to put your satellites up.
Wow.
And then I was going to go to Russia to launch Telstar 5 and decide to come home to help take care of mother and daddy. So we moved to Atlanta. And in Atlanta, I started working on undersea fiber optics. And then the first Wi-Fi we introduced back in 1998.
Wow.
So, and then I decided to retire from Bell Telephone Labs and become a professor at East Georgia. So that's when I went and joined Gene in Swainsboro and was there for 14 years. And then Martha said we had to come close to the grandkids, so I obeyed.
Good for you.
So we're up here. But I have 7 grandkids. 4 live a block from me in Locust Grove, and 3 live here in South Carolina where I am right now. So we've been very fortunate. And one of the greatest memories I have is knowing all of y'all.
Well, the feeling is mutual, Robert.
What's that?
Yes,
The feeling is mutual.
yes, it is mutual.
I am very proud of everybody in our class.
I
Well,
am
thank you
too.
for keeping us together too. That's
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. We had some good times planning those, that meeting, didn't we?
we did.
We had some good times.
Yeah, Elaine was on the committee. And you were on the committee. I was trying
Susan.
to remember. Cheryl was,
Susan, Becky, Cheryl,
right. Yeah.
Joe. Remember
Joe.
Joe?
Yeah, Joe. Mhm.
I kept trying to get in touch with Joe. I left him messages on his phone, thinking maybe his wife could connect him, but I never heard from him. So
Joe came by the shop about 2 or 3 months ago and sat and talked with me for a good while. He's doing okay as far as I could see. He's doing okay, but still kind of a mess.
Mhm.
So,
okay.
That crazy thing called me one day, and me living in Swainsboro, I said, how did you get in touch with me? And he was hunting somebody that sold kerosene. And Swainsboro
Okay.
Supply up here, so he come up
Oh,
with a 5-gallon can of
Paul
kerosene.
Edenfield.
oh, Robert.
Paul Edenfield's coming in.
Oh,
Oh,
goodness.
good.
I wonder if he got the wrong time.
There he is.
Paul,
He's way up in Arkansas, yeah.
yeah, he's still in Arkansas.
Nadine
Paul?
got to tell her story if we can get a hold to her.
Hey, Paul,
She's gone.
Uh-oh.
Paul, Paul, can you hear us?
Huh.
All of a sudden I saw him popping up.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
his name is on the top of mine, but I don't see anything.
yeah. I wonder. I asked him to start the video.
Maybe he just thought about it.
Now I just wonder, I was here listening to you guys and not paying attention to the screen, to the participants. And then I saw him wanting to get admitted. Now he's been admitted. I don't guess he didn't see that he was admitted.
Yes, Nadine's gone. Clicked off.
Okay, she's off. Yeah, she probably figured out she needed to get off. But I kept seeing her daughter unmask her face. And hey, Paul. Let me see.
What's connected?
Somebody got their phone there.
I hadn't.
Paul Edenfield's number. Come on, Paul.
I'm here.
Okay, Paul,
Don't hear him. Don't
Yeah.
see, don't hear him.
where's your video? Do you have video?
Yeah, how'd I get it going?
Just there should be a menu that says start your video or join with video.
Mhm.
I'm asking you to start video now.
How about that?
Now,
There you
there
are.
you are.
Hey,
There
Paul.
he is. And there's
What's
Paul
going
and his
on?
beautiful wife. Nobody else had their wives or husbands.
Just buses.
Well, I'm an
Glad to see
exception,
y'all.
Steve. Hi, guys. How are y'all?
Hello there.
Did you think
It
it
took
was?
us long enough to get on.
Did you think it
Thank
was?
God for hot spots.
Oh, did you try to get on at 3 o'clock?
I tried to get on and my main internet went down. So I said, thank God for hot spots and tablet.
Okay. Very good to see y'all. You know, we
Yes.
thought we were going to have more people on. I think other people had some things they had to attend, but we may try this again. I've recorded everything we started when we began right after 3 o'clock. So I'll send that out. We didn't talk about you, Paul, or anything.
That's okay.
His
It's
ears are
probably
itching.
good.
Paul, I have
Oh.
great memories of you back in school.
Oh,
Really
Yeah.
great memories.
Don't
yeah.
say nothing now. He's recording it, so don't say nothing you don't
I
want
know,
to.
I know.
Okay, Robert, here, I want to hear it. Tell me what you tell me what you know from back in the days of school.
I was trying to think. I remember, Paul, your father was a preacher, right?
Yeah,
Is that true?
that's true. He was a Baptist preacher.
And I admired you a whole lot because I just thought you cared so much for people.
Well, that's good. I
And
appreciate that.
was very thoughtful, great ethics and so forth. I forget exactly the things we talked about, but we would on recess talk about various things. But
Well, some of the things you were doing and interested in kind of fascinated me, like your ham radio and all your other stuff that you were doing. And that was kind of fascinating to me. And that's probably what we talked about sometime.
yeah, well, I remember, of course, I was a ham radio operator, and that was when I was 12. I first got my license, and then built a transmitter and receiver. And I remember Billy Yarber helped me a little bit trying to get that going. And then I would come home from school and talk to people all over the United States and all over the world. And I said, wouldn't it be great if everybody could do that, had a ham set? Because you could see what other people were doing and maybe bring the world closer together. I never thought for a second that there would be an internet. And the internet's been a blessing and sometimes even a curse. But you got so much communications and it's helped a whole lot
Mhm.
to bring people together. So that was amazing. My mother wanted me to be an engineer. So she started talking about being an engineer from the time I was 9 years old. And I was really concerned that my mother didn't get to do what she wanted to do. You know, she majored in mathematics at the Georgia College for Women, GSCW. took calculus and all that stuff, taught high school. But when she married Daddy, he didn't think a good Southern man should let his wife work.
Well, times sure have changed.
At
You sure
times,
has.
But I felt so bad that she could not go teach. And there were a lot of women teaching in high school there, you know, but she wanted to do that. But she taught me math. And she told me about in World War II, she worked with engineers in St. Louis on the first jet plane and did calculations for them. She couldn't be, they wouldn't let a woman be an engineer back then, but she knew enough math that she did calculations for the engineers to help design the jet plane.
Wow.
And it was the first one to take off and land on an aircraft carrier.
Hmm.
And that's FH-1 Phantom. So she inspired me to be an engineer.
Oh, yes.
But
So did
Paul,
everybody?
you were in the service, right?
Yes,
I've got all kind of pictures of you in Europe and so forth.
yeah, that was a trip we made over there, just a vacation type trip. I have a British sister-in-law, so they kind of served as our host when we went over there, and it was really good. We had a great time.
Were you
I
in
was
the
back
Army?
in-
Were
I
you in the,
spent 30 years in the Army Guard.
okay.
You remember I worked for the Guard with Harry down in Lyons there for a while.
Yes.
And then I moved down took a job at Reedsville with the Guard.
Okay.
And then I left there and moved out here to Arkansas.
What brought you to Arkansas?
This lovely lady sitting on the couch by me.
Well, I tell you what, she would attract everybody.
Mm.
I'm glad he found his way this way. He's a good guy. He really is.
So you grew
Everything
up
you were
in
saying about
Arkansas.
him.
So you
Yes,
grew
she
up in
did.
Arkansas.
Yes, I did. This is home to me. As a matter of fact, we're living on the part of the land that was my dad's land. He gave it to the 5 kids, and when we decided we moved to Colorado for a few years, wasn't it?
Yeah.
4.5 years, I think. And then when we came back, we built here on this land, and this was Daddy's land.
So y'all still have an RV.
Yep,
We do.
So you're
still
still
have it.
Are you going all over the
Between-
place?
Between doctor's appointments, you know how that is when you get old.
No.
No.
You gotta work around doctor's appointments.
I feel like a 25-year-old. Why would I go to the doctor? No, I've had
You
plenty.
forget, you recording this, Bob.
I take more pills.
Remember.
I feel very good, thank goodness. But
Yes.
I've had open heart surgery and a few other things. But
Well, that's great that they can do that stuff nowadays.
Yeah. I just had a stent put in about 10 years ago, and I've been blessed.
yeah,
Never been in a hospital before or after.
yeah.
Everybody
good.
survived COVID.
Yeah.
But we know a
Got
lot
our
of people who
shots.
didn't. You know, a number
Yeah.
of folks didn't survive COVID.
Yes, we do too. We finally got our shots. And got that down, and we finally went out about a week ago and ate in a restaurant for the first time in a year.
Mm.
Somebody else is coming in now. Hello. Gail. That's Gail, right?
You'll read.
Hey, Gail.
Hi there.
Hey, oh, there you are. We've been
I didn't
waiting
know I
for
had
you.
this much technology.
We've been waiting for you. Did you have a hard time?
A little
finding-
bit, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I forgot I thought it was last weekend and my granddaughter was here and she had it all fixed up. And then I found
Yeah.
out it's not that last Saturday, this one.
So
I
you're
thought
on the
I
phone.
missed it.
You're on your phone.
Yes,
Okay. Now you live close to Gainesville, don't you?
I live west of Gainesville, about 32 miles near Amicalola Falls in
Okay.
Dahlonega.
Well, that's a beautiful place.
It absolutely is.
My granddaughter is going to school at Dahlonega, to college.
Yeah, I'll be darned. There's a lot. That's one of the hot spots for COVID is Gainesville,
Mm.
because there's a large Hispanic community and they don't wear masks and they tend to mingle 14 in a family all the time. They live 7 and 8 in a house.
Mhm.
So, and there's a large chicken processing plant, one of the largest in the southeast. Well, there's several there in Hall County. So there's just a lot of people together forcibly
Okay.
because of their income and employments.
Yeah. You had your shot yet?
No, not gonna get one.
I would encourage you to.
I know. My sister Tally got in line with her friend and then got out of line and called me and asked, "Are you going to get it?" And I said, "Well, I haven't yet. I'm kind of waiting to see how many more vaccinations come out." I live 12 miles from anybody. I'm out in the mountains and I'm home 5 days a week. So I don't
You don't
get
get
out
a
of
lot
work.
of you don't go to the tattoo parlors a lot then, do you?
No, I
Oh,
don't
okay,
I
good.
don't have any tattoos, but I do self-isolate. And I'll be honest with you, when I lived in Vidalia 8-9 years ago and the flu season came in, I wore a mask to Walmart with gloves to open those refrigerator doors, because in my early years at 19, I worked at the hospital in Vidalia. And then when I moved back to Ocala, where I grew up, I worked in the hospital there for 4 years. So I learned a lot about viruses. We would have people come in off of a Greyhound bus, and after they would come in the ER, an hour or two later, it would be discovered from the laboratory reports that they had TB or highly contagious different diseases. I was young. I don't remember them, but they quarantine everybody. They even would call the sheriff's department to find out what Greyhound bus the man rode on to notify the people that sat beside him. So I knew there were they're very dangerous viruses out there from this. That was in the 60s. So
I noticed my son-in-law is a physician, and he keeps records of all the flu people, people with flu that he's treated, and he's hardly treated anybody in 2020 with flu, like 5
Wow.
cases in a year, and he would have 40 or 50. He says it's because people are wearing masks and staying away from one another.
when it came out on the local Dahlonega marketplace, Facebook, people were making comments about the virus. And when I commented, it was really funny at the time. I commented that we're all needing to start wearing masks. That was like February, I believe. And I got the most meanest comments. Young people would tell me to go ahead and get in a nursing home. Yo, dingbat, nobody believed they'd be wearing masks. They would refuse. They said, "I will never do that. I'll not be dictated. Government's not going to tell me what to do." And now I wish I knew who those people were. I'd like to text them back and say, "How's your mask fitting?" after a year. Because they were really negative when I would try to tell people, go ahead and start wearing masks.
Yeah.
So it was just, it's been a hell of a year for sure. One heck of a year.
Well,
We never
I
thought.
have spent a lot of time analyzing the virus. I can do it with mathematics. In fact, my PhD thesis at Georgia Tech was on stochastic differential equations that could be used to look at space navigation. But you could also use the same formulas to predict the spread of viruses. So I did that with my class this past year, and basically predicted everything that happened just by observing some of the data. So we had there's something called excess deaths. In other words, in 2020, we have so many deaths just by looking at everybody that's passed away. Not necessarily from what, but just, you know, what is it that they get when you pass away? They fill out a
Expire.
death certificate.
Mm-hmm.
So there are death certificates. You compare those to 2019, and it's up 15% from last year. Normally from year to year, it goes up and down about 1%. You know, it's like 3 or 4 million deaths a year in the US. And it was up 15%, which is a major thing. So,
Yeah.
and of course, I know classmates that have passed away, folks I knew in Reedsville, and Vidalia, and Lyons. But I think it's a miracle that the vaccines, honestly. I've been reading about the science behind it and how there was a woman who got the Nobel Prize last year and looking at DNA and RNA and creating vaccines, and they were able to get this done so quickly. To me, I thought it was a gift from God.
Yeah, I did too.
That was my opinion.
Like the Salt man, Dr. Salt.
You know,
I can remember in
I think it was
in 1958 with the Asiatic flu, our mother took all 5 of us kids down to the health department, and we had the Asiatic flu virus vaccine. I was 12 or 13 at the time. And that vaccination didn't hurt, but then when you walked away about 5 or 10 feet, all of a sudden it just, you knew you had something. So the younger 2 children were the last, and us older 3 had to be real brave and not let on it hurt as bad as it did. But when the last 2, Pam and John Priester, got their shots, they screamed bloody murder because it was a tough shot to take. But apparently this one doesn't have that effect. I've not heard anybody say that it has.
Yeah, I've looked at a lot of the data and it looks like it protects you. We may need a booster shot every year, who knows?
Yeah.
But
the polio vaccine was good. The scientists have done a lot with vaccines to eradicate a lot of diseases. So hopefully this will prove to be one.
I hope so. It's been a hard time and people have been trying to figure this out, and you can't figure it out overnight. You know, people will come out and say this about it and that about it, and they'll be partially right or maybe all right or maybe wrong. Now we're sorting it out and knowing more about it.
So has everybody in our class that's online gotten the vaccine shots? Everybody?
Oh,
I have.
I've had 2.
We have it.
I've had mine.
I've had mine.
Yeah.
I think it's the thing to do. I really, unless you have some kind of allergy to something in the shot.
Well, they're not testing for that, so you can have that anaphylactic reaction, and you don't know it. So I would advise being near a very good hospital, which I am. I love the Cumming Hospital, Northeast Forsyth. That's a good one, but I think some of it can happen in 20 minutes after the shot. That's why they keep you around for 45. But who knows?
I don't know whether any of you know it. Back in 2006, I had eaten lobster all my life. You know, shellfish. Living up in New Jersey, we'd go up to Maine and have lobster. Never had a reaction. But in Swainsboro in 2006, I ate lobster and had a reaction to it. I went to the hospital, and the hospital didn't treat me very well there. I ended up having a helicopter ride to Augusta. They tried to do a trach to get me to breathing again, and they put the trach in the wrong place, right here.
Oh my.
So I had a helicopter ride. I was in a coma for 3 days. So it turned out I was a little bit allergic to shellfish. And so when I went to take the shot, I got the EpiPen, took it with me just in case. And turned out I had no reaction. when I went to get the shot. So
Which one did you get
the
first?
Moderna.
Moderna,
What did you have, Ann?
Moderna.
Yeah, I had no reaction at all to mine.
One
Little
I
sore.
have to
There.
go. I'm sorry. I got a problem outside, so I need
Okay.
to go.
Well, Elaine, it's
I will be back. Just email me whenever we gonna get
Okay.
back together, okay?
okay. Elaine,
And I
it
look
was
forward
so
to seeing
great to
you
see
laying
you.
down in St. Simon's.
Okay.
Let's
It was
stay
so
in
good to
touch
see you.
now.
See you,
Good
Carol.
seeing y'all, all of you.
Bye-bye.
All right,
Mhm.
bye-bye
Take
now.
care,
Bye.
Elaine.
Well, Gail,
Bye-bye.
everybody's been sharing some. You have anything you'd like to share? I know you moved from Lyons to Dahlonega, so.
I still have the house in Lyons. In fact, I got to get it sold on McBride. And, but I just love it up here. The people are just totally different. It's like going back in time to, well, 50s or 60s, actually. The mountain people are very different. When I asked the neighbor, I asked him, do you have any burglaries? This was the first thing that I knew was different. And he looked at me like he didn't understand what a burglary was. So I thought, my goodness, they can't be that dumb. And I said, when you leave home and they break into your house, do you ever go away and have anything stolen? And he walked up to me and got 4 inches from my left ear and said, we do not call the law. We take care of our own. And if I come home and find somebody stealing it, he said, there's too many mountains and we do not involve the law. And I was like, okay. And right there. So, and when the next time I went to visit him, he didn't have a dog, but he didn't come out right away. And I was parked right in the house. So I tooted the horn and he came out and reprimanded me for having bad manners because you don't blow a horn when you visit a neighbor. So
Oh, really?
everything's a little different, but after you get used to them, it's quite different. They had a banner. A lady wanted to build a hotel. She's listed in Forbes. She has all the rental properties in Dahlonega, 99% of them. And so she wanted to build a hotel like she wanted to build it. And the county wanted the city downtown kept historical looking, and her hotel was not going to fit in. So she took, and the building she was wanting to tear down was the first Ku Klux Klan building in Georgia. And so
Okay.
she held the banner across. She put a banner all the way across, about a 30-foot one, KKK and all. So she got a lot of attention. A lot of people came, and they relented and let her build her hotel because it was just bad publicity to have that kind of thing going on. But she's she's 88 years old, still goes to office every day, and has no children. She's leaving everything to the university. So it's kind of different. But everybody here is quite different. The sheriff has cancer, and he has a shot every day, he tells me, that he takes for it. I don't know what it is, but he was the first in the county to be on video getting his vaccination.
Okay.
Like you had.
I do
You
too.
know, everybody there can get your graduation
There
hat
you
if
go.
you
Get
want.
your hat. Yeah, very easy. Robert, I'm sorry. I've got to go too, but let me know when we're going to have the next one.
Okay, okay.
It's good to
Well,
see
we're going to
everybody.
finish this in a moment. Paul, did you have anything else to say?
Not really. It's just been a long year since all of this COVID stuff started, and it looks like we can see a little light at the end of the tunnel now, and that's a blessing. It's good to see everybody, and
Now, do
looks
y'all
like
have
everybody
children?
that's here is doing good.
Do y'all have children?
No children,
No children. Okay.
no pets,
No pets.
no.
We
But
have
we're
a
doing
dog.
good.
We have a dog.
I have a cat.
Yeah.
Well, I tell
My
you,
cat,
Well, we had 3 girls and 2 grandbabies, and I'm a great granddaddy in July.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow,
we're blessed. Health
good
wise,
for you.
better than I deserve, that's for sure.
I got a 32-year-old single police officer granddaughter. She doesn't plan on having any children, she said.
Okay.
Yeah. We just went down to Savannah and last night and today, then this morning, and celebrated our daughter's 42nd, that baby daughter now, 42nd birthday. So I'm getting old.
Yeah.
Eugene, you're old,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
You're old.
Wow.
yeah. That's why Bob's valedictorian and I'm voted the hardest worker in class. So I'm still working. I'm still running a tire store here in Swainsboro.
Actually, I'm still teaching right now.
Yeah.
It'll probably be my last semester because our college, the enrollment went down a good bit during COVID, and they will not need as many part-time teachers. So
Well,
I'm
in
still working.
2019, I was working full-time cutting hair in a hair salon. And in Dahlonega, we got the military. So I had never cut hair that short in my life. So that was an experience, but it was fun, going back cutting hair.
sure. Well, you look young, Gail.
I don't feel it
You do.
anymore. I start doing much and I get tired quicker. I have to come in, and I got the battery operated mower. So when I charge the battery, I take my breaks and charge my own batteries.
That's a pretty good deal.
Well,
It works out good. Thing.
well, my wife looked at me yesterday and said she was glad I had a head full of hair.
You do
I-
have an
I got
told
plenty of
her,
that too.
my daddy was bald by the time he was 30. And I always thought that I would be bald too. And so when I asked her to marry me, I told her I would be bald by the time I was 30. It turns out it comes from your mother's side. So
Yeah.
my grandfather had plenty of hair. Now, Gene, you've got it.
Yeah,
you got
loaded.
hair.
Yeah.
But does anybody have anything else to share?
Who have we lost out of our class in the last year?
Beth Page just passed not too long ago.
Who?
Beth
Who did?
Page.
Yeah, Betty Page died. She may be the only one.
If y'all want to, I don't know the website. It's LHS down in Lyons. Triggers man, he puts on there about everybody passes.
I tell you, let me show you something.
Larry Triggers.
I'm going to share my screen, and I will show you. Can you see my screen?
Yeah. Well,
It's starting, yeah.
Ferris wheel.
There's a Ferris wheel. That now I'm going to bring up. First of all, I'm going to go to my family website. Can you see this?
Yes.
This is my wife here with our dog. But I have over here a bunch of stuff I put together. But here is the Zoom reunion. You may have seen this. I sent this out to you. And
Yes.
then
I thought,
Yeah, I did too.
here's a website that Larry Griggers runs. Have y'all seen this?
I have, but I don't get all of them somehow. Sometimes I think I miss some.
Now
there's
here
a lot of
is,
most of the stuff's on Facebook now.
yeah.
That's what I look at is just Facebook.
Now
And
here,
Larry posts obituaries religiously when somebody dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
so here it is. Is Beth on here? Yeah, there she is.
Yeah.
And George Moy.
I didn't know he passed.
2020. Oh, was Diane Fallon in our class?
She was a year ahead of us.
No,
And
I was going to tell Larry that might be wrong.
yeah, she was.
Yeah, she was in 62.
And did anybody know Dallas Clark?
yeah,
I remember his face and all, not too much about him.
he was short like me.
And I knew Beth had passed away.
And Ronald King, but he was also in Diane's class, Fallon.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, and Sonny Holland. They were all together.
Right.
But I just noticed that Ray Johnson had passed last year.
Yes, I knew that. I had called him a few months before he passed away and talked with him.
Are
Now,
you aware that you remember Brenda Lynn and Aaron Lynn and
yes,
all 4 children are deceased now in that
Yeah.
family?
you know, one of the things you can do is look at every one of the annuals.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, you can actually download a PDF file of the entire annual.
I don't know what happened to mine. It's got misplaced somewhere. We can't find it.
Well, you can
I
get
know it's on
your
the
own
screen.
copy.
I have mine.
Here's ours.
Now, how do you download each of those annuals? Is there a website to go to that you have posted by chance, Robert?
To get to the annuals,
Yes.
just go to my website there, and
Okay.
it will take you. Gosh, I got off of it somehow. Come on. Are y'all still there?
There's not a lot of farmland, so there's no poisonings being put in the soil up here. And the water comes from mostly up in the mountains. So I think it might be a little healthier.
Yeah.
Y'all got them 2-legged cows, one short-legged on one side and one on the other, go around the mountains.
There's not very many cows up here, period. I'll be
Okay.
honest. There's a lot
Yeah.
of a lot of chicken houses.
Now the earliest they have is 1949 for one called the Mastiff.
Leo,
But I found
Has
one
anybody ever,
for
has anybody ever
1924.
seen an annual with a burlap cover like ours?
Never.
No, never.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a unique annual.
Now did you know there was a one called the Wiregrass?
No,
That was an old one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I found that and gave it to Larry Gruggers, and he put it up. 1924. Well, evidently they didn't have any others, but anyway, there's a lot you can see about Lyons High School. I'm going to stop the share.
I know my mom was class 42 and she helped organize her class reunions. 2 or 3 years before she got cancer. And I met several of the ladies, but I don't know if there's any of them left anymore from class
Now,
of 40.
you
love to know.
moved up from Florida, didn't you?
Yes.
But your mom was here.
Yeah, she was the Tallies from a Hoopie.
Okay.
When a Hoopie used to be bigger than Lyons.
Tell me about the Tallies. Do you know a Wendell Tally?
I don't know of a Wendell Tally.
Now I've got to go back.
There's William Olin Tally, W.O. Tally, and then Jerry Tally and Tommy Tally, Janice Tally that taught schools at the elementary. So that was my aunt. And Kenneth Tally, Kay Tally. Remember Kay Tally?
How about Lindell Tally?
Lindell? That's W.O.'s daughter. There was like 16 or 18 of us children. Out of the 5.
Lindell was what I was trying to remember.
Okay, yeah, Lindell and Sam.
He married, now I can't think of her name, a girl who was in our 8th grade. It was in the 8th grade when we graduated. And their daughter became a a math professor and worked for me for about 8 years. And actually, the Tallies came by and saw us when they took their daughter to some kind of conference. But I remember the Tallies.
Yeah. My grandfather passed in 1949, and I was 4, and my mother wanted to always leave the little town of Lyons. So she wanted to live in Florida. So she took us kids and settled in Ocala. And it was a delightful town to grow up in, very different. They had a city pool, they gave free swimming lessons, and they had golf. In the 9th grade, it was mandatory. You take PE and you take 6 weeks of golf lessons and bowling lessons. Just very different, to let kids explore their things that they might have a talent for,
Right.
that otherwise they wouldn't discover.
Well, does anybody have anything else? We've gone for about an hour.
That's great.
Not me, I got to
Next
speed out.
time, maybe let's have one in about a month or so.
Okay.
I will send this video out to everybody, and we will see. It seems like Saturday should be a pretty good time. Would Sunday afternoon be a better time?
I think so.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, I'm going to end it now. I tell you, it was a pleasure to see every one of y'all. And I've got
Thank you
great
for all your
memories.
work,
Thanks,
brother.
Y'all take care.
thanks
I'm
for putting
gonna
it
end
together.
Okay. We'll
Take
see.
care. Good to see y'all.